The White House opened its gates to hundreds of children dressed in colorful costumes, marking the annual Halloween celebration hosted by the President of the United States and the First Lady. The event took place on the grounds of the Executive Mansion in Washington, D.C., continuing a long-standing tradition that blends formality, family spirit, and public engagement inside one of the most recognized addresses in the world. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump appeared on the north portico of the White House shortly after dusk. The gardens and facade were decorated with pumpkins, fall leaves, and Halloween-themed ornaments designed to evoke the festive mood while maintaining the dignity of the presidential residence. At approximately 6 p.m., the President and First Lady walked down the main staircase toward a red-carpeted path leading to the South Lawn. Cameras from domestic and international outlets captured their arrival as music played softly in the background. According to the event's pool notes, the couple greeted families of military members, federal employees, and invited guests from the Washington community. The line of visitors extended along the curved driveway of the North Lawn, with staff coordinating the flow to ensure security and order. The atmosphere was relaxed but well managed. Secret Service personnel remained stationed along the perimeter, maintaining the standard protective posture that accompanies any public event involving the President and First Lady. As the children approached, each carrying small Halloween bags or buckets, the First Lady offered candy with a smile while the President exchanged brief words with parents. Cameras recorded him saying to one young visitor, "That's a great costume, you look terrific." Between intervals, the President nodded to aides positioned nearby, who replenished the baskets of chocolates and small treats prepared by the White House culinary team. Reporters noted that the decorations included carved pumpkins featuring the presidential seal, orange and white lights illuminating the columns, and cobweb motifs draped across the portico. The musical backdrop alternated between instrumental versions of classic Halloween themes and patriotic tunes performed by a U.S. Marine band ensemble positioned on the steps. Throughout the evening, both the President and First Lady maintained a visible presence, greeting children, waving to families, and pausing occasionally for photographs. The event, though light-hearted in nature, carried the traditional symbolism of accessibility and family engagement associated with the White House during festive seasons. According to the official White House schedule, the Halloween celebration has been a fixture since the Eisenhower administration, with each presidency adapting its own style and presentation. For the Trump administration, the event emphasized formality and stage design while ensuring direct interaction with attendees. At 6:10 p.m., the pool cameras captured a zoom-in shot of President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump standing side by side, waving as the first group of costumed children entered the reception line. At 6:20 p.m., a wide shot showed the entire colonnade area filled with visitors, with security barriers guiding the movement of families toward the candy distribution tables. At 6:31 p.m., another wide shot documented the President and First Lady extending candy to children dressed as astronauts, firefighters, and fairy tale characters. The gestures were brief but consistent, forming a rhythm that blended ceremonial hospitality with the natural informality of a family event. At 6:37 p.m., a medium-range shot recorded the President bending slightly to greet a small child in a superhero costume. The child raised a toy prop, prompting a short exchange that drew light laughter from the crowd nearby. At 6:46 p.m., a wide shot showed President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump continuing to hand out candy as Secret Service agents adjusted positions nearby. Orange lanterns lit the White House facade, giving a warm seasonal glow for photographers. The pool report noted that all treats were sourced from American confectionery brands, miniature chocolate bars, candy corn, and caramel pieces, neatly packed in White House-branded baskets. Guests included infants in their parents' arms and older children who briefly greeted the presidential couple before moving along. The event lasted about an hour and ended before 7:30 p.m., with final photographs and a wave from the President and First Lady. The White House described it as a community-focused celebration honoring American families and the tradition of Halloween. Attendance was by invitation only, with all participants screened through Secret Service procedures. No speeches or policy remarks were made. The First Lady personally oversaw the decorations, autumn wreaths, harvest centerpieces, and pumpkins in orange, brown, and gold tones. Parents called the experience memorable for their children, appreciating the event's balance of openness and security. According to the White House Historical Association, the tradition began in 1958 under First Lady Mamie Eisenhower, who first brought Halloween to the state dining room, a practice continued by every administration since. During the Reagan years, staff and local school children were invited to small gatherings. Under the Obama administration, the event expanded to include military families, local schools, and community organizations. The 2025 celebration continued that inclusive format, blending ceremony with community outreach and the visual style of the current administration. Throughout the evening, President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump stood near the North Portico, greeting children as they passed through a decorated archway illuminated in orange and white light. The Marine Band alternated between patriotic and seasonal music, performing Stars and Stripes Forever, Monster Mash, and This is Halloween. Security was discreet but comprehensive. Visitors entered through checkpoints near the East Wing, where identification was verified. Ushers then guided families along a defined route toward the reception area. Inside, photographers captured the president handing out candy to children in costumes ranging from soldiers to astronauts. The First Lady was seen crouching to speak to younger guests, maintaining a calm and composed presence throughout. Reporters described the atmosphere as a mix of formality and warmth, characteristic of White House holiday traditions that balance protocol with public engagement. Beyond its ceremonial aspect, the White House Halloween celebration also functioned as a form of public diplomacy, projecting an image of the presidency connected to everyday American traditions. Throughout U.S. history, such events have been used to humanize the office and reinforce continuity across administrations. The 2025 gathering followed that pattern. As evening temperatures fell, staff signaled the close of the event. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump waved to the last guests and turned briefly toward the press area before returning inside. The Marine Band concluded with "Hail to the Chief," followed by applause. By 7:25 p.m., the crowd dispersed and staff began removing decorations and security barriers. No incidents were reported. Pool photographers described the event as orderly, efficient, and consistent with standard White House protocol. In the hours that followed, images of the President and First Lady handing out candy circulated widely across social media and news outlets. Coverage emphasized the costumes, decor, and festive atmosphere while keeping the framing apolitical. Editorial restrictions from DC Pool limited use to non-commercial purposes, and no official transcript or extended video was released. By morning, the White House grounds had returned to normal. Preparations were underway for upcoming diplomatic engagements. Officials said planning for the event began weeks earlier, involving the executive residence, the Secret Service, and the Office of Scheduling and Advance. Roughly 5,000 pieces of candy were prepared, with leftovers distributed to staff and local charities. Weather remained mild and dry at about 15 degrees Celsius. Lighting crews used LED spotlights and projection mapping to accent architectural details while maintaining broadcast standards. In closing, the 2025 White House Halloween event reaffirmed a long-standing presidential tradition, combining order, ceremony, and family participation in a brief, light-hearted moment at the center of American public life.